KEET-TV and the League of Women Voters of Humboldt County present a forum for candidates running to represent the 2nd District on the Humboldt County Board of Supervisors. Viewers may submit questions during this forum by calling 707-445-0811. This forum is being streamed live at KEET.org. And now your moderator from the League of Women Voters, Bird Lochte.
Good evening. I'm Bird Lochte from the League of Women Voters of Humboldt County. I'd like to welcome all our viewers tonight for a live candidates forum with the 3 candidates for the office of Humboldt County Supervisor from District 2. Candidates with us this evening are Michelle Bushnell, incumbent, Brian Roberts, and Jeana McClendon. The League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan political organization, encourages informed and active participation in government and influences public policy through education and advocacy. The League never endorses candidates or political parties. We do take positions on issues after extensive study and member consensus. The League is open to women and men 16 years and older. The League is dedicated to providing impartial information about voting and the political process. We welcome our partnership with KEET in providing this information. League members are serving tonight as phone volunteers, question sorters, timekeeper, and coordinator. Their names will appear in the credits after the program. Since our program tonight will include the use of questions called in from viewers, I encourage you to begin calling in your questions now to 707-445-0811. Our volunteers are waiting to take your calls. The County of Humboldt is a general law county. The Board of Supervisors, which serves as the legislative body of county government and many special districts, consists of 5 full-time members, each of whom is elected by and represents a different geographical area of the county. In order to serve on the Board of Supervisors, a candidate must be a registered voter of and reside in the district from which the member is elected. Pursuant to the California Government Code, the Board enacts legislation governing Humboldt County and sets policy for county departments and various special districts. The Board adopts an annual budget that provides for programs and services to meet the needs of the community and to achieve the strategic priorities of the county. The strategic framework adopted by the Board is intended to provide a strong, workable plan that guides the county's work and makes our efforts as effective as possible. The Board also hears appeals of Planning Commission decisions and considers general plan amendments. The salary is $104,300 per year. The format for tonight's forum will be as follows. Each candidate will be given a maximum of 1 minute to respond to questions previously sent to the League of Women Voters or phoned in by the viewing audience. Questions will be screened by League of Women Voters members to eliminate questions of a personal nature and to prevent duplication. At the end of the question period, each candidate will have the opportunity to make a 1-minute closing statement. The candidates have drawn lots to determine the order of closing statements. Now, let's begin the question portion of our program. Again, the number is 707-445-0811. For our first question, we will begin with Michelle Bushnell. And the question is, what are your qualifications for the Board of Supervisors?
Thank you. Thanks for KEET-TV. My qualifications are that I am the Board of Supervisors, 2nd District Supervisor currently for the last 3 years. It's given me a lot of opportunities to learn and to navigate through government. Prior to becoming a 2nd District Supervisor, I was and still am a business owner. I was on the Board of, on the school board. I was a chamber president, very involved with my community. During the last 3 years, I've really had a lot of opportunity to learn my job and really educate myself around being Board of Supervisors and being involved with a governing body.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, you're next with this question.
Hi everyone, I am Jeana McClendon. I am a Fortuna business owner for the past 22 plus years. what qualifies me to be on the Board of Supervisors is this. I was raised in District 2. I grew up out in Carlotta. I went to Cuddyback Elementary. Then I went to Fortuna High School. I am a graduate of Fortuna High School. And for the past 22 years, I have been running businesses in District 2 with my business partner, my husband. We are raising our family here. We have 2 boys, ages 15 and 17. I have served on school boards for the past 17 years. I have served as a planning commissioner for Fortuna. I have been on the Fortuna Business Improvement District Board as well as the Chamber of Commerce Board. I am ready to get to work for District 2, the district that raised me.
Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Thank you, and I appreciate being here today. Thank the League of Women's Voters. I graduated college in 1992, UCSB. I was a political science major. I've always had a political inclination, and it's just been part of me my entire life. I've always been a leader. I never actually worked for someone. I started my own business right out of college. Extremely successful back when I did it. I retired about 10 years ago. I came to Humboldt. I wanted to set up my last stage of my business, and that was to open a retail store in Garberville. It was to employ people, get jobs here. And it all got thrown under the bus once I applied for my permit. And that's really why I'm running. There's certain things in local government that I don't agree with, and I'm here to change that. And I'm here to do good for District 2. I will fight for you. I'm a leader, and I will make sure you get the best representation for District 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, we will begin with you for the next question, which is, can you address the problem of county roads in your district?
Yes, county roads are an issue. I flew off Alder Point once, and I'm lucky to be alive. County roads are always going to be an issue. They're never going to be, oh God, we have we can't solve them immediately. We live in the mountains, our roads move. What we can do is we can fund the roads. My main concern when it comes to county roads would be, Director Tom, we just allowed $1 million for roads I think it was 2 weeks ago. My biggest issue with that is I would have liked to have seen it broken down by district. $1 million is $200,000 per district. I don't think Eureka should have gotten any money for roads. They're an independent city. They denied paying their fee into the Humboldt County Visitors Bureau. So I think the rural parts of Humboldt County need more respect in financing our roads. And I think that's a main issue, and all we can do is ask for state money and continue to increase our revenue within the county so we can pay for the roads.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, you're next with this question.
Thank you for the question. So county roads in the 2nd District, we have the most county roads in Humboldt, and one of the issues happens with county roads is FEMA damage. It takes a long time for FEMA to refund, up to 3 years, and so the major slip outs that happen during, like right now, we're in a state of emergency for the storms, takes a long time to get that money to do those repairs. Also, the gas tax rebates that we get do not fund the county roads enough, and so we've been running in a deficit for quite some time. And just the amount of county roads that we have is very hard and expensive to pay for, and we really need to look at maybe taking some of the county roads out of the county system and really seeing the roads that are utilized by the public.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
I think that the best way that we can take care of the county roads is by maintaining them before they become a debacle. For years, we have not had enough money to take care of those roads, and that's why we're in the crisis that we are with our county roads. I appreciate that the Board of Supervisors most recently did approve $1 million for roads, and they were for some specific projects for tangibles, so people could see that the work is getting done. But I think moving forward, we might be in a situation due to the management of the roads over the past many years. I think that we might be looking at a road tax, and I would be in support of that as long as it went directly to the roads and we made sure that we were taking care of roads and spending that money wisely, if that's the direction that we need to head.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, you'll be first with this next question. Are you willing to rein in those businesses who violate environmental regulations? And if so, how?
Absolutely. I think that one important thing to bring up right now is Measure A. I feel like I know I will be voting no on Measure A. I did yesterday when my ballot came out. I will be voting no on Measure A because I don't feel like that solves the problems of the illegal cannabis farmers. The Measure A is going after legal businesses, and they are doing their best to follow the rules and follow all the guidelines and regulations that they have been given. The question is, will I wrangle in the illegal businesses? Absolutely. Absolutely. I stand for legal businesses, legal business owners, and I will represent them in District 2 to the best of my ability. But legal businesses is where I draw the line. The illegal ones, they need to be taken care of in a different way and under the law with the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Environmentalism, one of my favorite topics. I was born an environmentalist. The main issue when it comes to environment is this: anybody that violates environmental laws needs to be taken care of. It's just a bad thing. I personally, if you look at my campaign, you won't see yard signs anywhere. It's plastic. I can't justify being an environmentalist and putting plastic all over the county. We have enough trash all over. My wife and I, we have issues because I'm not allowed to bring certain things into the house. If we buy it and it's all individually packaged, I get yelled at. So environment is one of my biggest issues. I protect the environment. It's why I came to Humboldt County. It's why we have one of the best counties in the state of California. So yes, anyone that does damage to the environment is not going to be a friend of mine. I will go after it. I will protect the environment, and I want to live in a clean, healthy place. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeana, Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Yes, environmental damage to Humboldt County is detrimental, whether it be, illegal, legally, it doesn't really matter. Our Humboldt County is really known for its beauty, and people come here, hundreds of thousands of people, millions actually come for the beauty of Humboldt County. And environmental damage, it's not just cultivation, it's a lot more than just cultivation, but it has to be taken care of. Our nature, our beauty, it's so important to Humboldt and the people that come here, our tourism market. And the reason people come here is not to see damage from environmental damage. Also, our rivers are so, they need to stay clean. Our water sources, a lot of people in the rural area depend on springs and wells. That's so important to keep the environment clean.
Thank you. For our next question, Brian Roberts, you will be first. What are your main goals and objectives should you be elected?
My main goals as a supervisor for District 2 would be A, fight every inch of the way to get as much money and as much from the state as we can to help our district. But the main focus is to clean up Humboldt County, the government inside. Tom Matheson spent, I think it was twice he came out and did a 15-minute thing on Rolling Meadows Ranch on Category 1 through 6 roads. Now that, I didn't understand that. And I don't understand why our public works director would be advocating for one cannabis farm. So when it comes to government, I think we need to do a little cleaning up. I think there's issues in the building and planning department. I've seen ethical violations by them. I brought it up to people. I don't think it ever gets handled. So the first thing I would do is literally look into all the people that has a complaint about the county and go into it, find out what's wrong. Why are so many people complaining about the planning department? Thank you.
Thank you. Your answer, please, Jeana McClendon.
If elected to the Board of Supervisors for District 2, I would spend my time trying to improve the life of the residents in my district by prioritizing 5 different things. First of all, safe, healthy, clean communities, and that means funding fire, police, and EMS, and roads to make sure that our communities stay safe, clean, and healthy. Number 2, access to healthcare, rurally and also in our larger areas. We need to make sure that our citizens have access to healthcare. We need more housing. We need affordable housing. We need entry-level housing. We need premium housing. We need more efficiency in government. We need more trust and transparency in government. I will focus on those things. I will also focus on improving mental health services and addiction services and homeless services as wraparound services so we can get those people on pathways to being contributing members of our society. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Thank you. So I will continue as the Humboldt County Supervisor working on mental health, homelessness, balancing our budget, working on getting housing solutions. Housing solutions is a huge problem. Getting services into the 2nd District. Southern Humboldt is very rural and the farthest from any district. Any services. Eureka is the area that the services have, and that's very problematic when you're trying to help with the homelessness and help with any kind of services. Also, working on our budget. If you don't have money, you can't supply those services. And really just supporting my constituents the way I do now and ensuring that the fairness from the government to the constituents comes back to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question, Michelle Bushnell, you will be first. What can be done to get more citizen participation in local government, or is it enough already?
Thank you for that question. It's not enough. It's never enough. As a supervisor, you very much depend on what the citizens can bring to you and tell you. You also very much depend on what their needs are. You don't know what their needs are unless they ask you and bring those concerns to you. Also, through the Board of Supervisors, we have a variety of committees and commissions that we need to place our citizens on so that we can have that participation and have the citizens involved with the government. We are always struggling to get people onto our commissions, Planning Commission, Appeals Commission, and so no, there isn't enough. And our county and our government depend on the participation of the constituents and the government working well together.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Could you repeat that real quick?
What can be done to get more citizen participation in local government, or is it enough already?
Local participation is never enough. We want the people to talk to us. Open communication is always going to be a thing. Emails, phone calls. It's hard in Humboldt County, let's be honest. We had Project Trellis and we tried to get someone to do the advertising. We had one submittal right for the thing. So people in Humboldt County, I know there's only a few of you that really truly care what we do up here, and I appreciate that. And I think it's sad because there's so many people here and there's so much that needs to be done that we really need everyone to participate. I can take what I feel is needed, but it's not what I need, it's what the community needs. So communication and letting people be a part of the government is the most important thing. If you want me to govern what I prefer, that's not how I would govern. I prefer to govern what you would want, the people of my district too. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
I think that we can always use more public input, but I think it starts by being open and accessible as a representative and being an open ear to your community. Number two, I think it's important that we conduct ourselves in a transparent way. We're conducting business at the meetings and following the rules that we are given through the Brown Act and such. I also think it's important to get information out to our communities. I think that's one area that we could really improve on, is getting information for these opportunities to participate out to our communities. We need to get them out, and we need to get them out in appropriate languages so our residents can participate. And I think that we can also utilize technology to do that better as well. So we just need to, need to have more input, but we also need to be willing to accept more input. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question, we will begin with you, Jeana McClendon. It has to do with Measure A and what you think of it. How can we control crime related to legal and illegal cannabis? Will Measure A support or inhibit that crime?
Great question. So, number one, to piggyback on the question that we were just asked, if there are people out there that are cannabis farmers that are not following the rules, we count on the citizens to call in and let the county know that there's somebody that's violating the rules. So it starts with the citizens. They have to be able to take part in that. But number two, I think that the bigger question would be, there are so many groups that are endorsing a no vote on Measure A, from our sheriff to the Republican Party to the Democratic Party. There are so many groups that are voting no on Measure A. We have to take note of that and understand that if we put more strict regulations on the cannabis farmers, we are going to push many of them back into the black market. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, it has to do with what you think of Measure A. How can we control crime related to legal and illegal cannabis? Will Measure A support or inhibit that crime?
Thank you for that repeating. No, I do not support Measure A, and as far as illegal cultivation, that's, you know, we've done a great job at the illegal not myself, but the sheriff's done a great job at the illegal cultivation with about 1,000 illegal grows this past year, and he was able to eradicate down to maybe around 500. Measure A will really drive people back into the black market, and there's so many restrictions already with cultivation, and it's regulated by 4 different agencies, and inspections are really what controls that. You get inspected by 3 different agencies, and if you're not following the rules, you'll lose your license. And so it really already has that that value, and adding more restrictions to cultivation is not what's going to make cultivation successful or make people want to flourish and stay in the legal market. Thank you.
Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
I'm voting no on, actually I did vote no on Measure A yesterday. The measure doesn't really have anything to do with crime and what we're supposed to do with it. The measure has caps on permits, which restricts future growth for Humboldt County tax-wise. It has 24-hour inspection notice. Most small farms are independent. I'm a solo farmer, so if I have a 24-hour inspection and I'm in Las Vegas doing a trade show, I don't know how we're going to deal with that because it's not listed in the measure. The measure was just poorly written. As far as controlling crime, we did an abatement program, which I'm not going to say I was for it. I'm actually was very against it, and I was against it for one reason. We didn't put boots on the ground and find a farmer doing something illegal. We looked at satellite images, and being a legal farmer, when they did my satellite images, they were wrong. So I was legal, but they did a wrong thing. So how many people did they do it wrong on the abatement?
Thank you. Remember to call your questions to 707-445-0811. Michelle Bushnell, you'll be first with this question. The next question has to do with healthcare services. What is the status of healthcare services in the county, and what would you advocate for improvement?
Thank you for that question. So healthcare in Humboldt County, as most people know, Providence is in Fortuna, Eureka, Mad River, and Open Door, and then Gerald Phelps in Southern Humboldt. You know, Gerald Phelps is a community hospital. I would really advocate more for community hospitals. Where, you know, St. Joseph's has reduced, or Providence, I'm sorry, has reduced their care in the Fortuna, which is in the 2nd District. And we need to attract doctors, we need to attract nurses, we need to have housing to do that. We need better, more stable health care. If you don't have that in your community, if you don't have a good education system and you don't have a good hospital or healthcare system, you can't attract people to your community. And it really is dependent on doctors and nurses, and they need places to stay and affordable housing.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
Great. So as your supervisor, I can't directly go out and recruit doctors and nurses and bring medical businesses here to Humboldt County. But what I can do as a supervisor is address the indirect problems that is the reason why we are not seeing healthcare providers like doctors and dentists and nurses want to come and stay in our communities. And that is because there is lack of housing, there is lack of childcare, and we also lack entertainment shopping, and recreation for the spouses of these professionals. And so that's where I can play a role as a supervisor, is addressing those 3 issues to hopefully attract more talent here to the North Coast.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Healthcare, Southern Humboldt. We're a community that was built by the farmers back in the days. We have our healthcare in Southern Humboldt is phenomenal. We have a sliding scale at the dentist. We have a sliding scale at the hospital as well. Now, when it comes to, like what Jeana just said, I have to concur with her. When it comes to healthcare, you have to be able to encourage people to come to our community. And our biggest problem we have with getting people to Humboldt County is exactly those issues. We lack affordable housing. We lack entertainment during the day. When I drive into Eureka, it's a 2-hour drive. So there really isn't much to do as far as entertaining yourself in life. And as Humboldt County, if we want to attract top doctors, top professors, we need to actually help enhance the community more with more entertainment, more projects to do. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, you will begin with this question. What role can your district play in alleviating the lack of affordable housing?
Great question. Southern Humboldt District 2, we have lots of land space. There's things like tiny home villages where you can put a bunch of homes together, a community kitchen and bathroom. When it comes to getting housing and affordable housing in Humboldt, it's a difficult question. Many owners who own property don't want to, you have to deal with the government. Dealing with the government is brutal. Going through a permit process is brutal. So for a landlord to take a property and make it affordable housing, there's a lot of restrictions. There's a lot of things they have to do in order to get approved. So the first thing we have to do is simplify how we do this process in the permitting process and get housing built. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Can you repeat the question, please?
What role can your district play in alleviating the lack of affordable housing?
So encouraging contractors to come into the 2nd District, and that means streamlining the permitting process for affordable housing. Also identifying areas, key areas that could be ready, shovel ready for contractors to come and start building without having that difficult permitting process. Identifying where housing in the very rural areas such as Garberville and Redway could go right away. Like shovel ready is really important. If you have those places available, the shovel ready places available, that streamlines the permitting process and allows a contractor to come in and build right away. Also for housing that we already have, you know, we're kind of upside down on the market, and so maybe reevaluating and reassessing those values could really help with affordable housing.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
Fixing the housing problem in District 2, I think it's the same for any district. So basically what we need to do is we need to reduce regulations and incentivize builders and streamline the process so people want to build here. We want to say yes to projects. We want to use rezoning and land use reform as tools so people want to come and build housing here. It's pretty simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. But we have the tools at our fingertips at the Board of Supervisors to create more housing, and we definitely want to use those tools so everyone has an opportunity to have a place called home here on the North Coast.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, you're first with this question. How big a problem is pension debt for the county budget, and how can we deal with it?
Pension debt is a problem for the county of Humboldt. Pension debt is a problem in every county in California. So I think that what we can do to address it is what we're doing. We need to continue on with our policy of pre-funding PARs. And if we want to take a look at that policy and maybe do something different, we need to look at the policy as a whole and really evaluate that. But I think the bottom line is this: it's an ongoing problem, And we need to make sure that our investments are earning the best return possible so we can minimize the expense there. But by pre-funding PARs and then utilizing any extra money, if that ever happens, to pay down those liabilities, that's what we should do.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Yes. Pension debt currently sits at about $17 million per year that Humboldt County has to pay out. How do you bring down the pension debt? One, reorganize departments. We need to become more efficient. If we're going to go with less people, we need to be able to do the job. We can't provide less service. So reorganization within each department is the most important thing. By restructuring where employees do, what they do and what their roles are, can actually enhance government efficiency. Pension debt is huge. In order to attract employers, you need to offer them something after the fact. So that is the biggest downfall for cities and counties, and that's what usually bankrupts them. So if we want to stay solvent money-wise, we need to make sure we get that under control. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Thank you. So pension debt is the #1 problem for most government agencies and city agencies. Our pension is no different than anybody else's. We have to work on putting money aside and paying down our pension debt, and then controlling our employees to not create more pension, and while we whittle away at that. The truth is, though, to get qualified people, you really have to offer them a package that people want to stay, and longevity is where you get your continuity comes from people with longevity. If you have a huge turnover, you don't get to provide the services that you need within the county. And it really does depend on that pension that they can get. People want to have a secure job and secure retirement. So we need to budget and reduce our pension and do our savings and whittle away at that pension debt at a larger rate than what is mandated and get it taken care of.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with Brian Roberts. Explain your understanding of workforce development and your role or projected role during the next term.
Good question. Workforce development. So I'm staying at Fortuna, I think it's Fortuna Redwood Hotel. And the first question I asked the guy at the desk is, I said, how you doing? How's it going? And he said he's leaving Humboldt County. He's 45 years old, born and raised here. And I said, why are you leaving? He said, there's no jobs. When In-N-Out Burger is one of our biggest, not biggest employers, but is one of the best jobs you can get on a low level at $20 an hour, we don't have the jobs in Humboldt County. We're not a manufacturing place. We're in the Lost Coast. You can't build cars here and ship it down south. It's not going to get past Richardson Grove. So we have to look, what is our county? What kind of work people can we get here? We're a tourist economy. We're farmers. And we need to focus on what we actually have as a county to offer people and try and attract more jobs that way.
Thank you. Next will be Jeana McClendon with this question.
Would you repeat the question, please?
Yes, explain your understanding of workforce development and your role or projected role during the next term.
So the workforce development portion of the county is important. It is a tool that we have at our discretion. It is a organization that can apply for grants that will benefit our community. I think that one amazing thing that is coming our way right now is the potential offshore wind project and the Deepwater port. I think that is 1,800 to 3,000 jobs that are going to be coming our way, and we need to embrace that. We are in a position right now where we need to embrace any opportunity to add more revenue into our community. We are in a budget deficit, so let's embrace these economic engines that are coming our way, and workforce development will play a key role in making sure that we are prepared to take that growth, that we have trained workers, and we are setting ourselves up to make sure that those jobs are staying local. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Thank you for the question. So workforce development is so key to training people, to get people trained for the positions that we have. We have offshore wind coming. We have the fish farm coming, we have the deep water port coming, and it takes trained people to be able to do that. Workforce is part of that in recognizing through Humboldt State and CR programs that can train those individuals, local individuals that can stay here. We're looking at 600 people for the deep water port, and it has to be trained individuals. Workforce is a guiding tool that can really utilize those incentives to get people trained, to keep local people. Employ our people here first and then look for other workers. But workforce is that driving force that really can recognize and get people trained and get the incentives and get the grants to get people trained for local jobs.
Thank you. Our next question, you will begin, Michelle Bushnell. What are the needs for communication services in your district? What are your plans to rectify any of those needs?
Thank you. You know, last year when we had the earthquakes, the first thing that happened in Rio Del was the communication system went down. There was a fiber optic line that was pinched. And we realized really suddenly that there was no way to communicate with OES and the state OES. And we ended up having to run out of the area with a cell phone. So cell phone services are not very good in the 2nd District as it's so rural. AT&T right now is asking the CPUC to pull out. Communications in general are so important to public safety. And I will fight. I am going to a hearing in 2 weeks for the AT&T with the CPUC, also with cell phone service. It's a public safety issue, and it's very difficult in the 2nd District, especially the rural areas, for the communications. And it just boils back to public safety. If you can't call 911, you cannot get the help you need. And it's critical during any type of emergency.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Yes. Communication in Southern Humboldt. It's difficult. We have very few towers for cell phone, and now they want to kill the landlines, which is, it's just awful, to be honest with you. Now, when we communicate, we need to be able to talk to the people, and we need, like OES. There's a big problem in Southern Humboldt when you live just driving on the road. If you're in an accident in Alder Point, you can't communicate to anyone. You're reliant on a neighbor to come help you. So communications, if the public utilities want to pull out of Humboldt County, we need to, we all in Humboldt County need to write a letter. You need to write a letter you need to make a comment, because without comments, people don't understand that it's such a necessity for our area. And that's the biggest thing. So when there's a public thing in the Board of Supervisors, the public needs to make a comment. And that's the only way we could change things. So communications in Southern Humboldt is awful. It needs to be worked on. We need to go to Sacramento and deal with it there.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
I'm going to have to agree with both Michelle and Brian. We have challenges here with our communications, whether we are talking about landlines or internet service or cell phones. And what that is going to require is collaborating with people at the state level to let them know that here in our rural areas, we don't have any other options. So you can't just pull out of an area and say there's no landlines. We have no other options. This isn't Sacramento or San Francisco where there's 10 other options. So we're really going to need to collaborate. We're going to have to use our state representatives, Senator McGuire and Assemblyman Wood, to really help us and be our partners in making sure our voice is loud and strong, that we need to make sure that these public utilities do not pull out of our areas, because it's a matter of safety and it could be a matter of life and death in our rural areas.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, you're first with this next question. What needs improvement in the county in regards to mental health care, and what do you plan to do about it?
In 1 minute, I will tell you what I plan to do about mental health care in Humboldt County. We need to do business differently. What we have been historically doing is not addressing the problem enough and effectively. We need wraparound services. We don't only need to house these folks that are struggling with mental health. We need to provide them health services, and if they have addiction issues. We need to provide them health care. They need to have a whole program of wraparound services to make sure they are successful in their journey to becoming a contributing member of our community. And so what I will do is I will advocate for all of those services to be done at one time for these folks that are needing for these folks that are needing this service. We need to do it all at once. We can't just do a one-step approach. We need a wraparound approach.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Thank you. So DHHS does a really good job at trying to help individuals with mental health crisis. Along with mental health crisis usually comes addiction and oftentimes homelessness. And one of the issues that happens is you can't force someone into recovery. You can't force them to do as my opponent said, the wraparound service is not something that you can just put in front of them and say, this is how you're going to be fixed. So one issue within the 2nd District is there aren't a lot of services available down there, and you have to relocate to Eureka. A lot of people don't want to relocate to Eureka. I have been and will continue to advocate for services in the southern Humboldt and rural areas. Getting housing, homeless housing shelter down there is really critical to providing those services and saying, here, you can be here, and any other service you want, we will now help you with. Always advocating for public and federal monies, as that's where that funding source comes from.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Yes, thank you again for the question. When it comes to mental health care in District 2, the first thing I would say is let's get a grant writer. There's so much money that the state provides for mental health issues. I think it's one of our largest budgeted things in Humboldt County. I think our entire budget is $578 million. So healthcare, mental health care is, we pay a lot into it. And there's a problem with mental health care. It's our brother, it's our friend, it's a cousin, it's someone we have to take care of. Now, at the same time, it costs a lot of money. So if we don't get state funds, it's all up to us in southern Humboldt. And that's just, we don't have the money for it all. My first suggestion would be is let's increase the Humboldt County Drug Task Force, because most homeless is based on drug addiction, then it becomes mental health issues, then it becomes affordable housing, and they're on the street. So let's get the drugs out of Humboldt County, the hard drugs, and then let's start writing grants and getting money from the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, you will start with this question. What can we do to resolve inequity in disaster recovery? What can you do as a supervisor?
Thank you. So we saw this last year with the earthquakes in Rio Del, and FEMA, to be polite, entire Rio Del could have fell off the earth and they still wouldn't have qualified for FEMA. And so advocating with Congressman Huffman and Senator McGuire to really look at FEMA and the recovery process and to really evaluate what a community is worth from the very beginning. We never came close to even being available for FEMA monies. That's been very detrimental to the Rio Del area, as well as some residents in the Hydesville, Carlotta, and Fortuna area. And so it really takes the fight at a federal level. FEMA is federal funding, and the inequities are there. Without the values, we don't qualify for, say, a Santa Barbara area where they could have one block that is devastated and would instantly qualify. So really reevaluating the process and how the federal government looks at it.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
So when you're talking about inequities in a community, you really have to understand that you need to give people the tools that they need. Everybody doesn't need the same tools. Everybody needs something different in order to be successful there. I think one thing that we could have done differently, and again, hindsight is always 20/20, but one thing that we could have done differently is tried to keep that money local, and the decisions regarding that money local, made locally. So people would have easier access to the applications, understanding what they needed to do to actually qualify for the money. In addition, I think that to address those inequities, we need to make sure we're getting information out to the public. We're getting information out frequently, accurate information, and in all languages, so we can make sure that everybody in our community is being touched.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, your answer, please.
Yes. Disaster recovery inequalities. First thing I would do is Humboldt County doesn't have grant writers. I would make sure we start to hire grant writers. Each department is responsible for writing their own grant. What makes that difficult is when you have a disaster, Public Works, they have to write their own grants to try and get federal and state money. When a natural disaster happens, the first thing you want to look at is the state and federal. How can they help us? Where can we get their money? It's called a disaster. We don't plan for disasters. We have excess in our budget, but that literally can bankrupt a county or a city depending upon the disaster. So the first thing we need to do is have the tools in order to go to the state and the federal government and start writing these grants and trying to get money from them.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, you'll begin with this question, please. What are the supervisors doing now, and how can you expand that, if elected, to build fire resiliency in your district?
We live in the mountains. There is no, the only thing we could do for fire resiliency is be a smart community member. Don't have fires in during the summer. And really what we do is, when it comes to donating money to a campaign, I would wish that instead of ever donating to me, because I wouldn't accept it, donate to the local fire departments. Donate to Kim Kemp, donate to K-Mud. Communication is the most important. And then it comes to the fire departments. They protect us. So that's all I'll say on that.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, your answer, please.
Thank you for that question. So southern Humboldt County is considered rural and high fire risk and high fire danger. Fire resiliency really depends on the person, for one, knowing their area, protecting their house, clearing around their home, and making sure that if a wildfire does come in, have your protections done. Clean the bushes out, clean the trees out. Also, the state of California right now has a ton of money for fire resilience programs. Shelter Cove just got a grant for fire resilience to trim around their roads. Often fires start on the roads from chains, dragging, and so forth. Having a FireWise community, getting your neighbors involved in FireWise and making your neighborhood more fire safe is really important. And just being aware and supporting your fire departments, whether it be a volunteer department or a dependent department, that's really key also. But grant money is where, for FireWise and protection, there's a ton of grant money out there, and it's been available for last year.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your answer, please.
Communities can improve their fire resiliency by understanding that we all have to do our part, and everybody's part is different, but we can all contribute to the solution. Number one, for people that, for their own homes, we can make sure you have defensible space around your homes. It's very simple. It starts with that. You can have an evacuation plan with your family. We can make sure that we are supporting our local fire departments. We have so many volunteer fire departments in the 2nd District. I believe there's almost 20. I think there's 19. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm going to say almost 20. And we can support those departments because those are the boots on the ground out there. They are going to see those fires and be able to respond while they're still small and not a crisis. Number 3, I think that we need to have access through roads, so we need to fund roads. And then finally, we need to use our supervisors to access and advocate for resources for our area.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, you will start with this, which is our last question in order to end on time. What advantages would be a benefit to your district during the implementation of offshore wind?
Oh my goodness, there's so many benefits to my district, everybody's district, Humboldt County as a whole. If we can, if offshore wind takes off, I can't express enough how much our community needs this. And with saying that, I want to make sure we are participating in offshore wind and also reaping the benefits of the electricity as well. But right now is the phase where we can give our input. We can participate in the information that's out there. We can line out how we want to participate as a community. But we are going to get jobs from this. We are going to need more housing. We are going to have ancillary businesses come to our area. We are going to have ancillary jobs. This could be life-changing for the North Coast and our finances and our budget crisis to have this revenue from this huge economic engine coming our way.
Thank you. Brian Roberts, you're next.
Yeah. As far as what's going on in Eureka with the offshore and the fish farm, it really has no impact to District 2. It impacts Humboldt County as a whole, but I don't see anyone in, we're 2 hours from Eureka. So politically, I would have opposed those two and used as a bargaining chip to get more resources down for District 2. Eureka is desperate for this, and so is Humboldt County. But what you do is you play a political game. I wouldn't be, oh, I'm all for it. I would make them give us something in return. What does District 2 get out of this? We don't really get anything. Humboldt County, Eureka, they're going to get the money. It's we're a rural part of the county. We don't get city dollars. We need to get all the money we can. So this would have been a political bargaining chip that I would have used to make sure more resources come back to our district for roads, fire, and schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Your answer, Michelle Bushnell.
Thank you. So offshore wind is definitely going to benefit when it comes around Humboldt County economically. So the the port is Humboldt County property. It's not Eureka property, so it does go to the county. And development, any beneficial financial benefit that comes into the county is spread out equally, not equally, but it's spread out throughout the districts. For District 2, lots of folks already drive hours for jobs, and so this has the ability to create a lot of jobs for people. I would advocate that we provide some sort of housing for workers in the Southern Humboldt, Fortuna, Riadel, Carlotta area, so that they have an opportunity to really benefit financially and have a really secure job with the development of the deep water port and with the development of the wind farm. It has a huge potential to really impact Humboldt County and bring dollars in and add a workforce here that we haven't seen for a long time, not since the mills and the huge amounts of mills that were here. Thank you.
Thank you. For your closing statement, we did have some questions about representing county employees, getting new businesses here, food insufficiency, housing needs, the biggest need in your district, and a question about the Gaza ceasefire. So you might want to address one or more of those in your closing statement, and we will begin with Brian Roberts with your closing statement, please.
Thank you. As supervisor of District 2, the first thing I do is I would clean house. I want to see why we have such inefficiencies in Eureka. Why is our government that is supposed to govern us have so many issues? Permitting process is a disaster. John Ford is phenomenal at knowing county ordinances and getting things on the books, but he can't control the people. I've seen employees make false statements on planning staff reports, on appeals to the Board of Supervisors. That's unacceptable. Public Works, Tom, he's doing a great job, but giving us $1 million road thing and saying, here's $1 million, I'll do it on the roads. That's like me owning a business and saying, hey, I'll give you $1 million, paint my building. You want to know specifically what road it is in District 2. Do we need a whole road paved or do we need potholes paved? So each district should have been more hands-on when it came to spending that $1 million. I don't like writing blank checks to people. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Bushnell, you're next with your closing statement.
Thank you. So those were a lot of questions that you asked, and the one thing that I can say for the 2nd District is that the services are not available in the 2nd District that we really need. Being the farthest removed from the county seat, that's the one thing I would say. I also want to thank KEET-TV and the League of Women Voters, and I want to really promise that I will continue forward with working hard for county roads to balance our budget, to address my constituents, and really bring services to the 2nd District, along as well as working with my board on legislative issues. We've talked recently about some of inefficiencies in the government and within the organization, and that's really going to help us when we really dig deep into that, and with our budget especially. But I promise just to be consistent and thoughtful, and a thoughtful leader as I continue forward as your 2nd District Supervisor, and I appreciate your vote on the March ballot.
Thank you. Jeana McClendon, your closing statement, please.
Thank you, and thank you again for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you to the other candidates as well. In closing, I will just say this. We can't keep doing things the same way and expect different results. It's just not going to happen. I'm running to bring a new energy, a new perspective, and new leadership to the board. I am ready to get to work for you on improving the life in District 2 and in Humboldt County as a whole. I will work on those things. I will work on safe, clean, protected communities. I will work on housing. I will work on effectiveness and efficiencies and improving the mental health crisis that we are having. And then finally, and maybe the most important, is the economic growth of our area, because when we improve the economics of our area, we bring in more revenue. When you bring in more revenue, you have options, and we can fix a lot of these problems that we're talking about if we just take care of our economy. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes tonight's program, and I'd like to thank KEET-TV for airing this forum to encourage voters to participate in government and to help voters become better informed about their voting choices. KEET-TV will be airing 2 more candidate forums, Monday, February 12th at 7 p.m. and for the Board of Supervisors, District 3, and the last one on Wednesday, February 14th for District 1. Thank you all for watching, and please return your vote by mail, your vote by mail ballot through the U.S. mail, a secure drop box, or any polling place. Return it to vote on May the 5th. Power is in your vote. Make democracy work. Thank you and good night.